Jobunga, a student at the University of Nairobi, also the chairperson of the Revolutionary Students Commission. I'm pleased to be invited here, and I'm very eager for the discussion ahead here.
Okay, that's great. And your audience, you can watch or even follow this program through our social, that is EBN TV Kenya, across SMS line is 23059. My name is Jeffrey Kimayusomba, JKS, and we're starting off with the Kenya's board newspaper, and this is the Standard. If you look at the top page of the Standard, you can see some very, very key men pictured there. You can see our president, you can see Rukwe there, and we can see other key persons just on the top page. Now, actually, things are falling apart on that the top page of the Standard, and we saw what happened in Ol Kalou, we saw what happened in Trans Nzoia, and this is of late. Actually, this is the latest ordeal that happened in Trans Nzoia. Now, we're also looking at Oparanya CS for cooperatives promising support or even holding a unity from the Luya community in support for Ruto come 2027. So when you look at them, we see residents are rejecting goodies in Trans Nzoia, as well as what happened in Ol Kalou constituency, Nyandarua County. Now, they're saying that they need dignity, they need equity, and they need leaders who can deliver or serve them daily. What do you think is this thing falling apart, Samuel?
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Karibu.
I think now the Kenyan people, the consciousness have been awakened, because now maybe Ruto and his allies thought that they will come and just buy off people. But Ol Kalou is a testament that there's a meme called how to eat campaign money and vote wisely. I think they did so by actually receiving the government goodies, but voting for their candidate who they think that deserved the seat. And now you can see it has affected other areas, like what you saw in Trans Nzoia, where now the people are saying we are not falling for cheap handouts like 50, 100, 500. We want real development. How comes in Ol Kalou they were given gases? How comes in Ol Kalou they were given even shoes? They were given even water boats. But us, we are given sodas, carted. How is the government taking us? These are the questions. And now, I think the government has trapped itself. Now they have to increase the budget of campaigning, because now the people want actual development. They don't want these handouts. And what they have done in Ol Kalou, now they have set a pace. Now they have to do all that in other regions. Otherwise, President Ruto risks to be a one-term president. And it is also evident that the Kenyan people can actually get their votes. When what you saw in Ol Kalou, the government tried even kept masked men with guns trying to intimidate, but people are resilient. I think the police actually are less than 1% of the population, and it showed that when we are united as a people, actually we can put the leader we want. And actually it also exposed that formerly it portrayed that the government was like invisible. It cannot be touched, it cannot be defeated. But recently now it has given hope to Kenyans. Actually, it has put more emphasis on one term. Basically, it's a reality. Thank you.
All right, that's great. And before we go further, do you think this is a original of themselves, or they're just copying the Ol Kalou people?
I think they are just exposing themselves on how the true identity of themselves. I think when you look at Senator Wycliffe Oparanya, now because now it has exposed weakness in Deputy Kindiki's court backyard. He has weakness. So now the Wycliffe Oparanya is now demanding maybe to be a runners-up in the 2027 elections, to be the second in power. We also seen in Nyanza what they're demanding, also in the coast, and it has put I can say the deputy president Kindiki at a very difficult place so as to prove that maybe he has still Mount Kenya is in him backyard.
Okay, that's great. And to the senator aspirant,
yes.
What do you think is falling apart from the Standard newspaper?
Thank you, Jeff. What I would say that it's that things are starting to boil nicely. You see, what's falling apart that people are now speaking. People are now demanding accountability. People are now tired of cheap politics. People are now tired of empty promises. People are now demanding the promises to be fulfilled. People are now asking for the actual to be pragmatic in terms of service delivery. And that's why now you see everywhere people are speaking. The Olkalau election, it was a statement. What happened in Trans Nzoia is also a statement. And I think now people are starting to speak in all areas. I think, and now the leaders are realizing that now time has passed, and now that we are now in a new era whereby people are not only listening and taking tokens in exchange of the votes, or coming in name of kingpin and all that, and demanding people's loyalty without any tangible thing to show for them. Yes, and I think that's very nice thing. Yes, I'm very happy and excited for what people are doing.
All right, that's great. And actually, the second story that we shall be looking at this morning at the Standard newspaper is the cabinet reshuffle. And the biggest question that we're asking ourselves is the reshuffle going to make President William Ruto clinch the seat for the second time? We're starting with Sam.
I think now the government has seen maybe it has not grasped in Mount Kenya. So we expect more Mount Kenya cabinet secretaries to be dropped off and put some CS from maybe Nyanza and Western and from Coast, so that to strengthen the ties they have with the Ruto government. But regardless, it will not affect the divisions that Kenyans have made, because these are some few individuals who will take the seat but will not benefit the actual citizens who are at the grassroots level. What Kenyans basically want is free education, free health care, and good shelter. President Ruto and his allies who think that Kenya is still in a kind of state where we can easily be bought off through tribal feelings, which is actually not the case. In actually Nyanza, when you look at it in Western, also Western, it's a region where you cannot rely on. They have not been voting in a block since Kenyans have had independence. In Nyanza, you cannot rely on it because ODM has lost its ground since the death of Raila Amolo Odinga. And when you look at Coast, the voter turnout is low when you compare to central Kenya. So I think basically President Ruto has a big assignment to be able to win over the hearts of Kenya again. Because what we saw in Olkalau, where the opposition getting more than 95% compared to the government with 5%, where the government invested actually heavily on it, means the mind of the Kenyan people are already made up. And if President Ruto thinks that he can go on and steal the 2027 election, then he is mistaken, because we are the majority here in Kenya, and people are determined for him to become a one-term president. I can also say that he needs to go and check where it went all wrong. First, it went all wrong when he introduced rampant taxes during the 2024 in the Gen Z struggle, and he killed. So many Gen Zs were killed, and he then went on again, and he impeached the deputy president, which made him more unpopular. These are some of the things. Recently, he also introduced the Ebola. And I think the Ebola was a major blow to him because they were so ignorant. The people of Kenya said that they did not want Ebola. They don't want the Ebola site to be happening in Laikipia, and they say they are ignorant. They say they regardless. Even Duale disobeyed the court orders and went on to establish an Ebola
quarantine facility.
This is not. These are the some of the cases which made President William Ruto unpopular. I think for me, he has a big this yes, it won't work for sure.
All right, Josphat, what's your take on this?
I think this is a political strategy that has been being employed by the government for a long time. And you see, now that Kenya, we are moving from the tribal politics and to a new political strategy. And now the government is thinking that maybe reshuffling the cabinet will suit people or will persuade many people, because you know when you put many people from one tribe or other, you think that is how now you are going to make those people feel like they are part of government. But we already know that this is a strategy to try to bring back the trust, but it is already broken. There is no way it is going to come back, because if the Gen Z lost their lives are not coming back, how is it possible that you bring the trust back? It is not going to work. But anyway, as the saying goes, when it was.
Okay, yes. All right, that's a check and that's a point taken. And when you look at the Daily Nation this morning, we're looking at the top story there. We're looking at CS Interior, Mukherman. We're also looking at IG Kanja. We're also looking at Amin, the DCI boss. And the top, or even the title there, or the top story there is the empty talk. We've been looking at the insecurity, we've been looking at the attacks, we've been looking at the goonism, the hooliganism, and we also saw what happened in Kalau as far as the 3 or more cars were involved in the insecurity issues or in the attack. Now, why is it that these 3 gentlemen have not been talking of anything? They promise something to be done. Before we get to, and they promise something, if an attack is done, orchestrated, they promise investigations to be done. But before the investigation is done, something else happens. Something else happens before that happens. Why do you think these 3 gentlemen, very key in our security, information in our security cloth, why do you think they're so silent in the things that we're seeing in the attack of maybe opposition leaders in our country?
Thank you. I tend to think these gentlemen are just playing many games, because what we saw in Kalau was so unfortunate. Goons, uninformed security officers moving around, attacking people, raiding people, disrupting people, and then what we can hear from these gentlemen is statements, and we can't see the tangible action being taken. I mean, who are the people who are doing this? You mean like the government is not aware of the people who are executing this one, these kind of attacks? We even saw the number plates of the cars. Even some of the cars are actually registered under the very famous political people who are in government, who are actually the current member of parliament. But we are not seeing those people are recording the statement. So these are just mind games which government is playing with the people. And I believe if these people are not really up to the task, they should just resign, because I don't see the need of, you know what to do, but you're not doing it. You are just trying to beat around the bush, and then there is no any solution that you are offering. And all these were recorded. We saw the media people recording this, media people being just unfairly treated, and then all we can see is statement. I was actually very disappointed to see the Minister for the CS for the interior, Murkomen, saying that these are small things, and people are losing lives. Yeah, and now if they are small things, why are we not seeing the culprit being brought to books? Why are we not seeing people being arrested? Because we saw them, and everyone saw them, and it is in public domain. So I think these people are trying just to play the jokes, politics around these issues, and intimidate the opposition so that they can blackmail them and try to bring fear to the people. But I don't think it is going to work. What happened in 2024? Fear, trying to bring fear to the people, trying to do blackmail people, intimidate others so that you can suppress people's will. It is not going to work this time around. So it is up to them to decide what language they want to write. As far as they are in charge of these dockets. If they want to take action, they can do that. If they don't want to take it, Kenyans will of course rise to the occasion. And I'm pretty sure Kenyans have solutions, and they will of course offer them. If they don't offer them, yes.
All right. Now, Director of Criminal Investigations, said there is no identity for goons. If a goon is a goon, and they handle a goon as a goon. Do you think that statement will work?
That statement, I don't think it can work, because yes, you can. Goons have not labeled themselves like I'm a goon or whichever the way to identify them. But the action speaks louder than the anything else. If you see people who are breaking the law, because our country is a country which is run by the law and order, you know, the rule of law. But we see people who are really breaking the law, the people who are attacking others, the people who are breaking the law of the country, the law that binds us all. We cannot say that those people are the patriotism. No, those are the goons. So if we see anyone who is going against the law, we treat him as a goon, and we tend to believe, because these people, if they can do that in the eyes of the police officers who are uniformed. So we believe these people are they know each other. They know each other, and that's why they are. We saw there was no any action, and those people were executing those things in front of police officers without any action being taken against them. Those are goons, which are probably sponsored by the government to execute those dirty stuffs. Yes.
All right. Now we're looking at empty talk from the top page, and DCI, the director, is promising to take an action against all this. And before the action is taken, one of the things that should be done first is the investigation. Do you think the investigation done is transparent, and they'll be taken into books, they'll be recorded, and the action that should be taken to them, do you think it will be taken?
So, you see, Jeff, these are the normal, I think, lullabies that government has been singing to Kenyans anytime there is an unfortunate incident. Because, tell me why, something happened, and then the DCI and all the security apparatus, they are all saying that investigation is being done, but nothing is done. There is nothing which is fair, which is done by these people, because I believe they are compromised. I believe they are compromised, and that's why there is no intangible action. There is no substance, any action that usually is taken even after this investigation. Today, you hear that investigation will be done. You wait for a month, second month, third month, nothing has come. And if it comes, you just hear from the news and all that the case has been dropped without even being prosecuted. So I believe there is no transparency, because you cannot really offer fairness if you are the part of the injustice. Yes.
Okay, that's great. And Sam, we're looking at the empty talk from these security details in our country, and a lot of things that has been taking place, and we don't see any credible, not really credible, but any tangible action being taken into place. And if there are promises, they'll never come into fruition. Why do you think they have the empty talk after even things occurring, after things happening in the limelight? Even each and every other person watching them happen, they don't feel they need to be scared of anything.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. In the empty talk, when you see CS Murkomen and the DCI boss together with the police boss, Douglas Kanja, I think there's a lot of hypocrisy in it. In a book, Lana Mellerin wrote, The State and the Revolution, when the state feels threatened, when they feel that their status quo is being challenged, then they result to organize the violence. And you can see the state has the machinery, it has the police, it has the military, and it has also these squads. And we have really seen the killer squads, which have been walking around. In the evidence is during the 25th June, recently, we saw unmarked vehicles. Police are being who are marked themselves. We saw even goons walking around threatening people if they try and come out to protest, then definitely they will be killed. And CS Murkomen pretends that this is not happening. And actually, people like Nelson Coet even admitted recently that there is no politician who has no goons. And we as politicians need to look for ourselves, because if these goons are not taken care of, then they will result to a Haiti state where we will be having militias who are not yet controlled by the government, and the government will realize they cannot control them because they have armed them and they have given them the resources. Now they will be terrorizing Kenyans, and they will also terrorize them if they see, because people don't know, like power is not power is transient. So today you have power, tomorrow you don't have. And it's testament, you have seen it in the Kenyan political landscape. So if CS Murkomen thinks that he'll be the CS for interior forever, he won't. He's just there for a particular time. And these goons, which they are financing together with PS Raymond Omolo, definitely they will come after them. They will come to their family. And they are not, these goons are not loyal to anyone. They are loyal to their desires and loyal to their interests. So I think they should just stop trying to take Kenyans for granted, think Kenyans are foolish, and guarantee security. If not, we'll be having a challenge to them. Also, will result to what 2007 was, where the Mungiki came up, and it resulted to mainly loss of lives. And if there were consequences, Ruto was taken to ICC together with President Uhuru Kenyatta and the police boss himself. So CS Murkomen should not think that he's actually safe, because when he leaves power, basically the international community who think they have their backing up, they will produce them in the International Criminal Court. And this time they won't be any person to, because last time they escaped because President Ruto and the former President Uhuru Kenyatta clenched the presidential seat. And this time there won't be any redemption ahead. So I'm telling them that power is transient, and they need to maybe watch their backs and what they are creating.
Okay, that's great. And maybe I'm starting, there is a different concern here from the Daily Nation also, whether the impeached leaders are able to vie, and the Attorney General is given 21 days to give an advisory if they'll be allowed to file. We're looking at the impeached Deputy President, former Rigathi Gachagua. We're also looking at Mike Songo, and we're also looking at Kawira Mwangaza, Meru County. Do you think they are able to vie again come 2027? Do you think the process was procedural and constitutional
Thank
for
you,
the
Jeff.
three of them?
Thank you, Jeff. I think Kenya is a country with a constitution, and as per 2020 constitution, an impeached leader is not eligible to serve or to vie for any
elective seat.
So this issue, not unless they change constitution, but I think according to the law, that is a process that will have to be undertaken, and I believe this constitution should be applied equally to all Kenyans. If they were impeached constitutionally, then I don't think they are eligible for any elective seats, unless something else happened, which is, of course, changing of the constitution and all that. So despite what the Dorcas Odoro will advise, I believe, let's wait to see what she will advise, and then, of course, as Kenyans and as patriotic Kenyans, will, of course, see what will happen. But from where I sit, and from what our constitution says, they are not eligible. Yes.
Okay. Do you think the process was procedural and constitutional?
Oh, thank you. From the Mike Songo to Kawira Mwangaza to the Rigathi Gachagua, the process, of course, was followed the constitution, although it was there were elements of malicious, the intention and all the accusations that were on the motions to impeach them. We have seen that, for instance, for Kawira Mwangaza, it was backed by the political interferences. So there are leaders who tried to put their hands in the impeachment because of personal interests, not really that she was she had done what they alleged she had done. So I think for some of them it was really it was constitutional, but for some of for others it was unfair. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
There are those 3 guys who were impeached, and IG is given 21 days to give an advisory if they are able to vie come 2027. So the same question, do you think the process was procedural? Do you think it was constitutional? Do you think it was suitable for the 3 of them?
Okay, to begin with, I expect the Attorney General to basically say that the impeachment will be valid, because when you look, the Attorney General is part of the state, and when you look, I think 2 days ago, when Senator Mutati filed a court case against odious deaths, the Attorney General, together with the executive, wanted that the case to be dropped off. Why? And they think that these deaths should be looked closely by the Attorney General instead. So I think the Attorney General is in the grasp of the executive, and for clarity, President Ruto himself. And President Ruto would not like his top competitor, who is Rigathi Gachagua, to be able to vie in the next year's election. And also Kawira Mwangaza, who maybe has defected because of the impeachment. Also Mike Sonko, who is also opposing his government. I think the Attorney General verdict is it's evident, and it will just reflect. It's only a matter of time. And if the process was it constitutional? Yes, part of it was constitutional, but we see the role of capital, what it plays in the Kenyan politics. We see the role of money, what is present of Kenyan politics, because the president has control of the parliament itself. And basically, we have had stories that many MPs were bribed into voting on what the president himself wanted, which is impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. And also the Senate also received part of the money. And we see our leaders, when we vote them in, and when they get into the parliament, they tend to forget the people and start thinking about their personal interest, their stomach themselves. And Ruto has played it well. He knew the personal interest of these MPs, and he continues to bribe them each and every day to be able to pass what he wants to be passed. You can see what in the finance bill, despite Kenyans saying that no, we don't want the finance bill, but the MPs put their personal interest ahead. ahead and went on. And that's why parliament was banned. So I think the term parliament should be basically Kenyans at 2027 should basically vote for leaders who have their interest at heart, not vote on personality, not vote on party cards, and not vote on emotions. Yes.
All right, that's great. And we're looking at, maybe I start with Josphat. We're looking at communication, information and digital economy CS, William Kabogo. And we saw on Saturday the official president's website act. This is president.go.ke.
Yes.
Do you think William Kabogo is working?
When I thank you very much for that. Number one, when I saw that, I was not surprised because you see, when you give assignments to someone who has no, for the lack of better words,
the foundational wisdom or capability.
Yes, the foundational wisdom. What do you expect? What do you expect? Yeah. CS Kabogo, I believe that was a wake-up call. That it's not about title, it's not about tribe, where I come from, that you automatically deserve to be in a certain docket, that you automatically deserve to be in a certain office. No, it is not that way. It was very shameful, actually, to see government website being down. Yeah? Yeah. And I think even the President Ruto is now looking at starting to evaluate and see the kind of the people he is working with. Because if you can, that can really happen to the president. That's so dangerous to the states, and you never know what will happen next. And now, because now that the CS who is in charge of that docket somehow has a limited knowledge concerning the docket, he was also got in a surprise by what happened. And I believe that that is the incompetence of the highest degree we have ever seen in this country. And I believe that CS should actually be thinking about actually even resigning, because that's not, you are not giving people the kind of the service that it should serve. The office of the president is the office that should be held at very high stake. But when we see it being interfered by anybody and anyhow, that's something that should be concerning as Kenyans. We don't know what will happen to the next. Maybe next they will hack the treasury and we see the haste. Yeah. So we cannot take that lightly. We cannot take that lightly, and I believe CS is just sitting there reaping the name of broad-based and all that, but it isn't working. And I think President can see that those are the indicators that tells you that someone is sleeping. Yes.
All right, that's great. Sam, do you think CS William Kabogo has the expertise to handle the docket?
Not really. It has exposed the characteristics of Kenya, which is a semi-feudal state, whereby it's grappling with unemployment at a high rate. So when I saw this thing, I said, hey, this is a result of unemployment. These are young people who do not have access to basic amenities to be able to maybe cope up with the high cost of living, and therefore have resulted to, they have seen a gap in it. They have seen the CS who is not actually up to the task. He has not read about ICT. He doesn't. That is a political appointment. And when the young people saw this space, they decided to maybe exploit it. And that's why they demanded for the 41 million, because the CS and the ministry itself is not capable of maybe securing the government's rights. And also, like my friend said, it showed a great weakness in the government. We have also seen recently the security of the president being threatened itself. We saw where a man came and hugged him, William Ruto. And we saw also the weaknesses in him. You need to realize even Murkomen himself did not study anything about defense or administration. He was a lawyer. In fact, he has never even practiced law itself. He was a lecturer at the University of Nairobi. And these people do not have the capability, but because of political appointments, Ruto has appointed them in. he has to pay the consequences for it. Therefore, I think for the government they will continue to face this thing. Recently, we saw maybe the accounts of government sites being hacked. We expect more hacks, and as long as the young people continue to become more unemployed, therefore we will see these certain attacks to the government. So the government needs to solve this problem of unemployment. President Ruto said this recently, that he's trying to solve this problem of employment through affordable housing, through maybe a person works as a plumber, kwa mjengo itself. The one question I'm asking President Ruto himself, why don't you put your kids themselves to maybe work in those affordable housing programs? You see how difficult it is, because your kids are in luxury. We saw Shadin Ruto the other day driving a 30 million K Bentley car. We saw George Ruto the other day driving a G-Wagon across the country. That you want the kids of the Kenyan citizen to go and work at affordable working, doing short jobs, yet they have read and they have graduated and they have degrees, and you want them to do these blue collar jobs. So it's not that you are royalty, you're just as an ordinary Kenyan as us, and therefore you need to treat every Kenyan as fairly the way you treat your child.
All right, thank you. Do you think this docket should be declared vacant?
Yeah, it should be declared vacant as soon as possible. I think even since Kabogo should be reshuffled, yes, and somebody more competent to be able to exercise that right.
All right, Josphat?
I think the same. I share the same opinion, because I think now when you talk of reshuffling, it should be merit based, not who knows who, right? And now these are the type of the reshuffle that should be seen in the government, in replacing the incompetence with the competent, replacing the political appointment with the merit of the person that is on that office. So I believe that if you are not competent, even you should not be wait to be replaced or reshuffled, just walk away. Kanyanga kubwa kubwa, because you have no business to be in that office for real.
All right, that's out of the dailies this morning, and we're shifting to our discussion, the future of Kenyan politics towards 2027. We saw what happened in Ol Kalau, and there is a Daily Nation on 17th. This is on Friday. It indicated very clearly about the 2027 signal, reflection of what will be happening in 2027. What do you think is a message, or the message that we should pick from the Ol Kalau by-elections as you try to marry this to 2027 elections?
Thank you, Jeff. The message is clear. Kenyans are ready for the change, and it's time for the change, and we are the change. And the change has already started. So what we saw in Ol Kalau was a clear message of the people who really anger for the change, especially in the leadership. Because you saw the politics of tokenism, the politics of handouts has been bypassed by the time, right? And now what people are really looking for is the leader, the leader who can deliver, the leader who can offer the solution to the people, the leader who has the interest of the people in the heart, not the interest of the government. Because what we have been having is the people who go to serve the government, the people who all their loyalty is in the party, the people who are, their loyalty is in the government that is in the place. But people are tired of that. So I believe the future of Kenya is bright, and I'm excited, and I'm looking forward for the new Kenya that we are going to have in 2027. I was really happy for the decision that the people of Ol Kalau made, despite all the bribery that we saw, despite all the anything that we saw in the Ol Kalau, people still stood their ground and looked at the government and on their eyes and told them, we are tired of these kind of the thing that you are doing to us. What we want is real change. We are tired of the broken promises. We are tired of the misuse of the public resources. We are tired of the poor healthcare. We are tired of the lack of electricity. Yeah, we want the reality. And you see, government sometimes I think thinks that Kenyans are still living the ancient years. Yeah, how come that for the 4 years you have not implemented this project of electricity? We've been having floods even in Nairobi. We never saw bolts being here. But now in 3 days, you are bringing bolts, you are bringing electricity poles, we are seeing mattresses and so forth. That's the joke of the here.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that people, despite all those things, they stood the ground and they send one message. Yeah. The change is inevitable and the change is coming and change is already with us. We are just about to get to the new leadership. That is in 2027 going forward. There is no room for politics of tokenism, politics of handouts and all that. It is bypassed. Yeah. So even the new leaders we have to think, we have to get updated, we have to align with the new type of leadership. Otherwise, if you work with the old system, probably you are going home with the old leadership.
All right. Yes. You aspiring Senator, Kitui County.
Yes.
How much does the senator get as a pay end month?
Thank you. For a senator, the salary he gets is around, or he or she gets around $1 million, right? This is the salary plus the
allowances.
And our allowances.
Do you think a senator or an MP can use their salary to give this handouts or even this kind of tokenism to the citizens, maybe to the people of maybe a constituency or a ward?
It's not possible. It's not possible because you see, when we saw the tokens, the handouts, what they mean, billions of money, where is that money coming from? Those are the public resources which has been stealed by these leaders so that they can come and bribe the people. Yeah. But I am up that the people of Olkalau, they really took their money back because that is our money. Yeah. That is your money. So there is no point of you can't just rob us with the right hand and give us in the left hand. That is nonsense. And I'm really happy that people were able to see that and they identified it and they made decision and they made it clear. Bring it to us because it is our money, we take it and we still vote the way we want to vote. Because there is nobody who is 1 million cannot afford to buy I don't know how many mattresses. The gas, there were a mountain of gas there. How do you expect $1 million to do that? Yeah, it is not possible. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, that's great. And Sab, we're looking at 2027 signal from the Olkalau parliamentary by-elections. What do you think is the message being sent to 2027?
The messaging being sent is one term is becoming a more reality. And I want to congratulate the people of Olkalau approving it and setting the tone and giving other Kenyans the confidence in themselves. I think after the incidents of Kalau, the political landscape has changed, and I think the government itself has felt the change itself because they are more ignorant on it. So 2027 is going to be an interesting election year because what we saw in Olkalau, people basically rejecting these goodies. I think President William Ruto and his allies thought that the Kenyan people are stupid, that you have not brought development for 3 years now, and now in the 4th year now you are bringing even boats which we required in Nairobi a few months back, then you're bringing it into Olkalau, which is it doesn't have any lake water body nearby. It doesn't have any basically they don't need it, but for purposes of PR purposes, to see that maybe you're working, you think that you can maybe bribe Kenyans into voting for you and maybe voting for your candidate. So Kenyans have seen that there is power in unity, and I'm seeing the incidents of 2024 coming back here in in 2027, people are united, and people are have really tried of President William Ruto. President William Ruto has made Kenyans to suffer a lot. Taxes, implementing it. High taxes from the sharp affordable housing, and each and every day. Now I don't know if it's in place in the infrastructure fund. He also wants to deduct it more and more. So I think I think from Olkala it's a warning sign that you risk being a one-term. You risk actually being the first president in Kenya actually serving for a one-term period. And what the advice I could give to President William Ruto, maybe you could look at the people around you. Basically, Oburu, is he adding any value to your campaign, and or is just overriding the legacy of his brother former Raila Amolo Odinga? When you look at the deputy president Kitui, is he a mobilizer in votes? No, I see him as a professional. He should just go back
in the administration.
To go back to the university and maybe lecture. He is not someone who can maybe mobilize votes, and I think you saw it in 2022. That's why you saw he chose Rigathi Gachagua over Kindiki. So maybe you should look for the characteristics of somebody who can maybe help you in these terms. Otherwise, you risk being even not getting that 50+1% vote.
But Kithure Kindiki around Barren North is aliuliza ni fire si fire.
Yes. But when you look at that constituency, now they're trying to drive the narrative that now there is Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. As a young person, this is the first time I'm hearing this. I never knew there was Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. Now they're trying to drive that narrative. Recently, when you had an MP from I think Chuka saying statements that they gave the people from Mount Kenya East supported Jomo Kenyatta, came and supported Kibaki, and came and supported Uhuru Kenyatta. But now that the people from the people from the East, which is Kitui Kindiki, taking power, now the people from Mount Kenya West are not supporting them, and now they're tired of this hypocrisy, and they don't care anymore about the Mount Kenya West people, and that they will continue to support Kitui Kindiki. We could see the role that it played, the role that Berenot played there, because these people are using tribal politics as one of their own, trying to maybe divide the Kenyan people. You can see now what they're trying to do in Western region, where now Sifuna is coming up, and he wants to become. He said recently, he has said that he wants to become the president of Kenya. But you can see what Oparana said yesterday. They're not backing one of the other. So they are trying to. President Ruto is trying to play the divisive politics, and the incidents of what we saw in Berenot, it was it's just they used government machinery and played the tribal card over that Kitui Kindiki is one of their own. They should protect the seats. But as time goes by, I think the people of Berenot and Mount Kenya East itself will see that even though they have the one of their own, even CS Ruku, who is in the public sector, when he's in government, it doesn't mean they will bring any development. It doesn't mean that your life conditions will improve. Basically, they should look for leaders who are basically outside. I'm not saying that Rigathi Gachagua is a saint. No, am I saying Matiang'i is also a saint? But you should look for a new leadership. I believe a leadership which has the interest of people at heart. I can say people can now consider maybe Maraga outside because he's new blood. He doesn't have any cases of theft of any to maybe trying to challenge within the political landscape. And the advice I can give the united opposition, what we saw in Olkalau, though it's minimal, but Jubilee Party also filled a candidate in Olkalau. What was the message? Are they not united? Because when this incident happened in 2027, basically they will they will lose some of their votes. The government will take them. Yes.
All right. In addition to that, we saw in the Daily Nation Deputy President Kitui Kindiki advising Ruku not to split the mountain. Now, to a different thing altogether, actually, it's a follow-up from what you've said. Some were looking at the issue of promises and promises that are not coming into fulfillment. And I'm looking at an issue where we've got with voters. They say that until you come with something, we can never give you the seat that you want. And that's what we saw in Old Kalau. All manner of goodies and gifts they were given to them, but they decided to respect their vote, to respect their voice, and even to respect their future in the force that they are holding in the democratic exercise. Now, when you're campaigning, you find, or even you hear, citizens start saying that so-and-so came here yesterday, he gave us this and this and this and that. And also, if you're not bringing or even giving out something to them, they won't accept you, they won't absorb you as the candidate come the elections that may. So I'm looking at the issue of Old Kalau. So what message do you send to voters now? Because most of the times they are relying on, because of the issue of unemployment, they are relying on the issue of tokenism and the issue of handouts. You're given 5,000 shillings, and once you get that money, that may translate into what you get throughout the period of 5 or 5.5 years when your leader will be in office.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Let me just give you a case study of the same.
Yeah.
And before I go to that, let me first say this. 2027 election, it will not be independent, depending on the amount of money you give to the people. That's number one. People are not relying to the money, but of course, if you come with the money, it will be taken.
Yeah.
Last week in Kitui County, whereby I'm running as a Senate aspirant, we went a launch of one of the MCAs in one of the wards. And you know what happened? We told the people, the residents, that we are not coming to vie because we have money, because that is the mentality that people have been had. People have this thought that if you come to vie, it's because you have a lot of money. But one message we are telling people is that we are not coming because of the money that we have. We are coming to vie because we want to bring the change. We want to come and rescue things that has been installed for so long. We want to bring integrity. We want to bring hope for even person who doesn't have even a bike to go around around to campaign. We want to bring sanity in politics, because you see this notion of using money to bribe people so that they can vote for you is what has brought us where we are today. When you go to most of the rural areas, counties, you find that the development is so behind. The healthcare is not working. The roads, they are not there. They are not passable. Many of the boys there who are taking drugs, they are unemployed because of the poor leadership. And what contribute to this is this kind of politics, tokenism, whereby you give people 100 bob, 200 bob, and then when you are elected, you don't go there to serve. You go there to retain back, to get back your money. So you don't have time to serve these people. You can't even go back to the ground because you are fearing that people will ask you for money. So the message we are telling people is this: we are not coming in because we have money. We are coming in to bring the change that you people you want. We are coming in to bring the new face of leadership. We are coming in to show you that leadership can happen without bribing people. We are coming in to bring the hope that is lost. We are coming to bring back the trust in the leadership.
Yeah.
We are coming back to bring the value for every shilling that is designated to serve you, not to serve people. And people are very receptive to that. People are willing to support young people without having to give them money. And we have seen many candidates actually using a lot of money and actually not being elected. What happened to Olkalau? What happened to Kaspul? There was one candidate there who had a lot of money. He was actually cooking, I think, pilaus and at the homestead to give people. He was cruising with all the convoys. And what happened? People did not elect that person. The same thing happened to Olkalau. So it is not about what you are giving people that will influence their decision. No. If you actually you go with that mentality, people will show you, now you give us, yes, we hit, but that is not what will determine how we are going to vote. The voting pattern has really changed, and it is about the vision you are sharing with the people. If you can share the vision with the people, and the people, they are able to get the vision, that is enough for the people to run with it and vote for you. But if you only depend to depend on money, to give people money so that they can vote for you, then when that person goes home and then he sit down and ask himself or herself, why am I voting this person? He or she got no reason to vote for you because you give him 50 bob. That cannot be enough reason to vote for someone. But the person who really has an idea, who has an agenda, who has a vision, and he or she shares it with the people, and the people are able to get it and run with it, that is the deal breaker. So it is not about the money, it is not about the what you give them, it is about what you share with them. And I believe that, and I also encourage young people, when you go to share with the people, don't go and then you are cloning yourself in this umbrella of money. No. Go and show the people the type of the solution you are bringing to the existing problem. Show the people the kind of the gaps that you are going to fill, not the money, right? Because you see, the problem in our country is not the money. The problem is the prudent use of the money, right? And that's why we want to show the people how the money has been misused by even bribing them. You see? And that is why we lag behind in the terms of development. And the people are really receiving the message very well. Yes.
All right. In maybe a response in 30 seconds, there is this leader from Olkalau County, Olkalau constituency.
Yes.
She said in a statement that you've elected or you voted in a Chokora. If you voted him in, let DCP do the developments that UDA had to do. Do you think that is a statement that should come from a leader in our country?
I'm so disappointed because of that. Because I don't see, why should you call someone a chokora? By the way, what's the definition of a chokora? Chokora is simply someone who lives in a street because he or she has no home to stay. It's not a madman, right? It is someone who has just lacked an opportunity to explore. That's why maybe he is living in the streets. And hearing an elected leader saying that you have elected a chokora, let us see if we will be able to do what the UDA could have done. Number one, UDA is not a government. UDA is a political party. UDA does not do any political, does not do any developmental infrastructure in the constituency. Number two, there is constituency run by the CDF, right? And it is not the party that gives or prepares the budget or prepares what to be done in the constituency. So I believe it's upon the candidate who was elected to prove the leader wrong, that yes, I can be elected from the humble background or from a low background, but I can still deliver what the people of Olkalau elected me to do. It is upon him. But hearing such statement from leaders, it is very unfortunate, because probably today you might be on the helm of the leadership, but tomorrow you might find you in the street. So probably you will be also be defined as the same name that you are defining others. So it is very inappropriate, it is unacceptable, and it is really uncalled. Someone should not refer to someone as a chokora, because maybe he or she is not at the same level in monetary value, or maybe where you are. It is not fair. That was very, very unfortunate, and it should not be tolerated at all. And I actually want to call upon the constituent of that leader. To recall her, because that is very unfortunate. You cannot be represented by such a person who is calling others chokora, because I believe there are other people, maybe in her constituency, who are maybe living in such situations, or people who have cannot put food on the table, cannot afford maybe a good shelter that the person is enjoying, and he or she is enjoying them on the expense of those people. Those people are the people who elected that particular leader. So it is very unfortunate to hear such comment coming from her. Yes, and I believe that's why we are saying in 2027, we are not only voting out leaders based on ethnicity, gender, or maybe hatred. No, we are really voting out leaders based on the competency. And you see, integrity, what you say, it is part of the accountability. Yes, that's why I am in support of draining the swamp in 2027.
All right.
Yes.
We are looking at exchange of goodies for votes. Do you think that's something, or as we've learned from Old Kalau parliamentary by-elections, do you think that is something that we need to see come 2027? Should we, or should voters embrace this? And do you think voters need to leave out the aspects of handouts and tokenism?
Okay. First, we need to start the historical basis where the tokenism first started. During in the 1990s, when Moi was unpopular, he printed much money and sent people like we saw the youth for Kano, where Ruto was part of it, and also I've forgotten the name. He died recently. Was also part of it, where they distributed 500 handouts.
Jirongo.
Yeah, Jirongo. They distributed 500s to money to Kenyans, and that's how Moi managed to secure the presidential seat. So maybe the mind of Ruto thinks that maybe we were living in the same times in 1992 there, like the same tactic they used in 1992, basically they can apply it in 2027, which is not possible. And maybe if he's maybe himself as a colonial enemy, because you have seen he has become so much darling of foreign countries. He's not even settling in the countries, in the country Kenya itself, basically going to other countries, maybe taking loans, which Kenyans themselves don't know where it's going. They're going, and he's using them because each and every day we are seeing in the news that the World Bank has given Kenya some kind of money, and we don't see any development, because any development we are seeing, we are being taxed for it. So where are this money going through? It's the same money which it's taking from these loans, audio steps from the World Bank, from foreign countries, and is using them to split to split them to Kenyans. But Kenyans have been awakened. I can say a recent case, a case study maybe at the university. Formerly, maybe for you it could be voted, you could maybe taken a 50 so that the student can vote for you, because they had this mentality which wacha tumalizane hapa, wacha nikule pesa yako, najua ukiingia hapa utanisahau. But it has changed, because us as an organization itself, during the accommodation period, we fought for maybe the accommodation fee to be reduced to half, and the students themselves saw development itself, because now it was in 40k, and now it is 20k. We have reduced it by half, and now they saw it's tokenism doesn't make sense, and they decided to vote for us in the current leadership of UNSA that we have right now. And I am seeing it in a reflection in Kenya itself. Now the people are seeing what they should, because now mtu atatupatia some tokens, and then when he gets into government, he'll want to recover the money. So let's see a person who has been in the ground, who has amejitolea to serve us and maybe give him that seat. Because what they used in 2022 made some Kenyans regret it, because when the Kenyans voted in some of the MPs, some of the senators, they deflected and they moved to the government side because they wanted to recover some of the money itself. So I think it's a change of it starts of the change and the landscape. And basically the people who are maybe from Kano at that time, Kalonzo, Ruto, Mudavadi, Wetangula, these people, we are going to see a new leadership here in Kenya in 2027. They will drain the whole swamp, and basically a new leadership with new energy, willing to serve the Kenyan people, will take power and move Kenya to another level. Yes.
Okay, that's great. There are some two messages I'll be reading here. One is from Musalia Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet Secretary. He said, these are by-elections, si kitu ya kutisha mtu. Kama umetishika wewe toka hapa. Between now and 2027, there is time for campaigns. Ruto will prevail. Now from the president himself, he said, elections are not a matter of life and death. There'll be Kenya after the election, and we must live together as brothers and sisters of one nation. Now, we also got a message from Kitui Kindiki. We also got a congratulatory message from Kindiki. We also got the same from Itumbi, congratulating the DCP candidate for winning the by-elections. We also saw Mudavadi's message and Ruku's message all together. Now, Kindiki said this morning, actually, there's something he said about, the future of deputy president. He said that saying all color victory does not intimidate them ahead of the 2027 general elections. So I'm looking at the messages from these leaders. Do you think, before we get to maybe one individual, do you think these messages were genuine?
I think they're ignorant. They're trying to escape the facts that they have become unpopular. And one thing that is important for a government when it's elected is to have the power of propaganda, the power of information to, and they lost it in 2024. They can't control the information which is spreading. Basically, Kenyans have lost the trust which they entrusted to the government. And basically, any information from the government or the president himself is declared false on arrival. And also that's the thing that have made them unpopular. So telling them that they have time, they had time from 2022, maybe for campaign. But if they're trying, if they will use the same tactics they used in Olkalau, basically pouring more money in there, they will also expect a loss from them, because Olkalau has proven that even if you give me money, even if you give me shoes, even if you give me gas, I'll still vote you out. So whatever tactic, I don't know what tactic they will use, because if they think they will buy the Kenyan votes, Olkalau has proven not so. That you can't buy the Kenyan votes, that they have already lost the trust of Kenyans themselves, and they are ready for a new leadership.
All right, okay. Josphat Mutati is saying that William Ruto will prevail come 2027. What do you make of that?
Thank you. I will label the statement in quotes the last kicks of a dying dog, because it is very unfortunate to hear that Musalia saying that the president prevail, and then at the same time he is saying that election security ya kutisha mtu and so forth and so forth. But when you look at the reality, the government is in the panic mode because of what happened. So if you are not really afraid, or kama hukutishika, why are you being so much in panic? Why are you threatening? When do you have to send the uninformed militias to go and threaten the people of Olkalau during the voting? When do you have to interfere with the election? When do you have to take mattresses? When do you have to take gases and so forth and so forth to the people for them to vote for you? When do you have to spend so much? I think more than 10 billion. When do you have to spend so much to the simple election if it is not something to be afraid of? And if for sure you are confident that your boss has made it or has done it, why are you trying to prove a point from the elections? So this is basically a mere talk, and just something to give you hope, to keep you holding on to something that has already, people has already lost confidence and trust on it. And I believe that because of course you have to speak something, because of course your boss is expecting your support. Your boss is expecting you to show that the ground is with the boss. Yeah? Otherwise you will also go home. So I don't have to blame Musalia for saying that. Basically I know he's securing or trying to protect the docket and the job, so that he doesn't go home empty-handed and sleep hungry. So that is expected of him to speak like that, because you see, if there is a saying that say that you cannot really bite the hand that feeds you. So I don't expect Musalia to be different from that. Yeah.
All right. In maybe one statement, when do you think a leader should start delivering?
Immediately after election.
Good.
Yes.
Good. All right. I need to repeat the statement from President William Ruto, as far as the by-elections are concerned in North Kalau. And I'm directing this to Samuel Jobuga. Now, elections are not a matter of life and death. There will be Kenya after the election, and we must live together as brothers and sisters of one nation. Now, I want to marry your response that leaders should be delivering immediately they get into that position to what the government did to the people of Old Kalau. One is the issue of transporting, or even trying to give them with gas cylinders, giving them money, giving them shoes, and maybe transporting to water boats to them. Do you mean these people have not been there since 2022 when President Ruto ascended into power? And do you think the statement or the message from William Ruto is genuine to a point that if maybe he loses come 2027, do you think he'll concede peacefully?
It's basically hypocritical, because when you look at the history of maybe William Ruto, maybe in 2007, then he was allied with Raila Amolo Odinga, and he refused to concede defeat. So when he'll be the president, and he has never lost before. So when he loses in 2027, the question is will he concede the defeat? I think definitely no. But Kenyans, through their unity, I think that we live together as brothers and sisters even after elections. And the way he's behaving is working day and night to divide Kenyans as soon as possible, because along tribal lines, what you're seeing in Western Kenya, what you're seeing in Mount Kenya, in his favor. You can see even he has tried to divide the youth itself, because during the Gen Z, we have seen some commendable activists or leaders who are with in 2024, but they were co-opted by the state just for the sake of money. So it's pretty hypocritical for him to saying that after elections that we will be living as brothers and sisters. I can say that Kenyans are united against him. They are ready to make him a one-term president as soon as possible. The thing, what happened in 2024, just Kenyans are bearing with him to maybe finish his term, saying, wacha tu amalize, alafu ataenda. But after the 2027, after August 10th itself, Kenyans are planning in their mind, they are saying there will be no William Ruto. So in his mind, he should keep in mind, even after elections, Kenyans themselves have said that after elections, there will be no President William Ruto, who will maybe lead Kenyans itself. And to basically him as an individual to prepare to accept defeat, because what he has been trying to do during this by-elections is trying to prove in quotes bado akona ground. And these one elections that he has been defeated overwhelmingly, he's seeing the consequences of it. And even the leaders themselves of Mount Kenya who are in EBN, yesterday we saw Rigathi Gachagua saying that there are some Mount Kenya leaders who want to see him at night. Basically talk so that they can buy under their tickets, and he says that if they want maybe to talk to him, they should come during the day. So this it reflects that Kenyans have already decided, and even when you are seeing these statements through X or any political rallies which you are in, because you have conditioned Kenyans into tokenism. When we recently saw the budget, status budget, spending billions of money, and these billions are not going for development. It's just this where you call people to teas and mandazis and giving them handouts so that to create an illusion that basically that the Kenyan people are with you. Recently I walked around in Nairobi when President Ruto came to deliver a speech in Parliament. When you walked around the CBD, you could just see hard crowds. It wasn't organic, and he has resorted just to pay people so that he can prove that he is popular, which is not the case. So Al-Kalau, it has done so much damage, and he has exposed how unpopular he is. Even if he had info track in his place, this polls which predict that Ruto is actually popular compared to the opposition, which is actually false. So I'm trying to tell them to gear up for 2027. Yes.
All right. Kitui Kindiki said the game is 1-1. They won Bere North and DCP won Old Kalau. So maybe this is a message they're trying to send to DCP party in a bit to show them that they are not weak. And again, All Kalau, not All Kalau, actually DCP won 1 against other 9 seats as far as UDA is concerned. Now, we're looking at something here, Josphat. We know we're in Africa. When you go all the way to Uganda, you go to Cameroon, you go to another country, you find that Africans don't really want to be unseated from these presidential positions. And we have an African leader who is our president. What do you think he can do to secure his second term? And do you think there is anything that can be done?
I think our president is at a point whereby I think his leadership is irredeemable at this point. The only thing that you can do to secure is to deliver to the people, of which he has really failed to deliver. He has failed to honor the promise that he gave during the 2022 manifesto. He has failed to honor the promise that he gave to the country, you see? And now there is no way that you will be able now to deliver that in the remaining 1 year. If for the 4 years you have not honored this, because during the 2022 election, the president had really promised that there will be no abduction, there will be no forced disappearance of the people, there will be no more bloodshed in the street. But what did we see in 2023, in 2024, in 2025, and also in 2026? People are getting to disappear. Our mothers are crying. Their children they go to demand for the accountability, for the good governance, for the provision of the opportunities for them to get an employment. But what do they get back? Caskets, right? The president promised that he will deal with the corrupt cartels. What are we seeing? People just stealing from the public coffers. The last day we saw the Efra guys stealing a lot of the money, 100 million, 500 million from in the house. This is the part of the government that we are seeing. Why are we not why is the government not intentional about doing away with this corruption? Why is the government not intentional about providing the health care at the cheaper price? Why is the government not intentional about ensuring that there is accessibility, employment, in terms of empowering your people, in terms of the skills development, agriculture, and boosting of the our economy through incentives.
Yeah.
The government is not intentional about that, because it's waiting for the last minute so that it comes and buys people with the tokens so that they can vote for the government in. So I believe that the only thing President Ruto can do to be elected is, number one, to honor the promises, to stop corruption, to stop extrajudicial killing, to stop forced disappearance, to stop the cartels, to stop anything that is against the rule of law. And I don't think that he has the time to do that, because if he had the 4 years to do that, now it is 1 year. Is it really possible? I don't think it is possible. So probably the president is really hanging on whichever the outcome that will come in 2027. And of course, we know the reality is already in the ground. People are already speaking what the reality is coming. So it would be prudent for the president to prepare for the outcome in next year's election, because there will be no escape route for him in 2027. And what we are waiting for is just for the reshuffle of, not actually reshuffle, it's the full change in the leadership in 2027. And he has to accept the outcome. There is no way, he like it or not. If the people speaks, the country speaks, because our constitution says that the people have the supreme power. So the people, once the people speaks, that is the voice of God. That is the voice of the people is the voice of God. And that is the voice of the nation. So whatever the people will say in 2027, he has no business to say yes or no. That is, he can only say to yes or no to maybe to himself or to what he can control, but not people of Kenya. People of Kenya have the capacity and have the power to decide which way to go, and that is coming 2027.
All right, that's great, Josphat. And Sam, what do you think is the meaning of UDA losing the parliamentary by-elections in Olukala?
As I said before, it's evident. It's like a litmus test, and they have failed in the litmus test. It has not gone in their favor, and now, as I said, they're panicking, and there's no way that Ruto will change. For 4 years he has been abducting people. He has been stealing from Kenyans. He came into president thinking that Kenyans are so backward. He had the mentality that when I enter into power, I accumulate so much money, and when my term comes to an end, I just basically bribe people, and people will vote for me, which has not taken place. If, so many events have taken place in between the years, and it has made him more unpopular. During this year, we expected him maybe to lower the price or cost of living. He didn't do so. The fuel, the prices are up. He promised that first promises gas that it will be moved from where it was from 1,200 to 300. That every gas will have 300. He promised us so many things. He promised us heaven on earth. Yet he did not score. He even promised that we will have the border. The Mama Mboga will be in the parliament. That the hustler will be will run from grass to grass and from grass to grace, which has not been the case. In fact, the hustler has been the one who has been hit. Saitu kikuja hapo utembea hapo nje when you border. They will just tell you the same story, that they're tired of this president, that he's a one-time, he lied to us. He came that he gave the people that he's from a hustler background, that when he comes into power, he will basically come with he will give this position, maybe empower them, and it's not the case. He has in fact sided with the elite, which you're saying, and given them jobs. Recently we saw what I think it was the Standard exposing the Tangula, how he has extended family in the government who are not yet who are not qualified to be in the position itself, and so many people who have been in the government who are not qualified. So the question of President William Ruto cannot redeem it himself. It's a ticking time bomb. Maybe he thought that maybe releasing masked men or what. I think people of Kenya have employed a strategy. Like what you saw in 25th June, the government says it's not a holiday, it's a working day, and yet them themselves are the ones who are imposing this holiday because you are denying people entry to town, to the CBD, blocking people, telling them you cannot pass through this way. You're just sending a message. Just stay at home. That you are afraid. The government is afraid of the citizens themselves. They are afraid that if they open up the CBD at the time of the protest, Ruto will risk becoming will not even reach the one time itself, because he risks that people will come to State House and overthrow him in such a way. That's why he's acting like that. Whenever there are protests, he can let maybe the national funds, he can let any protest. Recently we saw the DRC protesting, he can let them, but any Kenyan if he wants to protest, and remember this protest is in our constitution. People have a right to express themselves, but him and his government have decided maybe to impose a dictatorship where people cannot even express themselves, because he's during the June 24 he has developed fear for them, and therefore yes, it's true that given the chance that even until now we have a protest and you open it up, President Ruto will not be a president anymore. Kenyans are tired of you, and we are ready to drain the swamp. We are not saying that Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, that we want Rigathi Gachagua. We are not saying that we want Matiang'i. These are people who have been in the government ever since in Kalonzo. I think Kalonzo has been in the government for the longest time, and we are ready for new leadership. We are not going back to the tribal politics. It's you people that are bringing tribal politics. When during the June 24 protest, the Gen Z said that they are tribeless, and they are united together, and we are seeing these politicians who have stayed for a while trying to bring this narrative that this tribe will bring these votes, these people will bring these votes. People like Rigathi Gachagua, that is focusing on Mount Kenya. People like these legacy politicians who are saying that we're seeing Joe, that cost politicians will vote for Ruto, they'll bring the votes. We are seeing there on the other side of Buru that the Luos will maybe vote for Ruto. This is not the case. This is not what we wanted. We want a leader who basically sees Kenya as one. We are. I mean, we are all black. We all have the same blood, which is red. Why divide people on the basis of tribe? That's backward, and that's which the tactics which the colonialists used before 1963 to divide us, whereby they are favoring another community compared to the other, bringing division. So they're using divide and rule tactic, and therefore we as Kenyans themselves, we as the youth, should not give space to the government to use this divide and rule tactics, and basically remain as one and united and speak in one voice, and we'll have change in Kenya. All
right, that's great. I'll be getting back to you in a moment. What do you think is the future and strength of DCP? Josphat.
Thank you very much. I believe the strength of any political party depends on the vision, and the mission, and also its foundational vision, of course, what it stands for. And I believe that if the DCP will be built in basis of the tribal narratives, which I'm seeing right now, I believe it might not go so far, because I believe Kenyans, we are past the tribal narratives, we are past the tribal shenanigans. Right now we are in another new era whereby we are all united as Kenyans, and we are working as a united team. And so when we see anything that comes in the name of tribes, we already flag it up, right? Yeah. And any political party that comes in the name of the kingpins, the tribe and all that, I believe that might not be the right time to come to exist in our country, because probably I believe that Kenya is now past tribe, it's now past tribal politics. And anything that comes, that builds in the name of tribes and tribal politics, it's not going to survive in the political landscape in Kenya right now. We are more focused on the development-based agenda. We are more focused on unity-based party, tribal-less based party, and so forth. And I think that's why you see the movement like Linda Mwananchi, which brings together all people together, is gaining momentum in Kenya compared to the parties that are more focused on tribe and so forth and so forth. So for me, DCP, I wouldn't like to them that, or unless they change the narrative, it might be very hard for them to survive in our political landscape in Kenya. Yes.
All right. And Sam, we've been looking at the politics of zoning political parties, and we're feeling UDA party may be going that direction. Do you think that aspect will bring victory to them come 2027?
Not really, because if UDA is zoning out, basically, their strength lied in Mount Kenya and basically the Rift. And it has been evident they're losing out on the Rift. And basically now they are more reliant on other political parties like ODM. And ODM is not that is not that strong before. It's not that strong compared to when Raila was alive, and it cannot be dependent on ODM itself. What advice I could give them to maybe the UDA who are in government is basically just be brave and just resign. Don't let Kenyans themselves don't be put on into shame that you as a leading party who as a government party entity who took power and basically failed to Kenyans, because when you look at your symbol is a wheelbarrow. This wheelbarrow, he said, you could relate to Kenyans themselves, whereby that everybody is a hustler and everybody is trying to fend on their living. But when you took power and you turned your back into Kenyans, so basically the narrative which drove you into power, you have betrayed it, and therefore if you have betrayed your power, the narrative which basically came from the hustlers themselves, the workers themselves, the peasants themselves, basically there is no redemption because you have betrayed him. And even when you resort to tribalism, there is no any other way out. Well, I can speak on the DCP issue. The DCP is popular now because of the unpopularness of William Ruto. That's where they're getting the strength from. It's not that Rigathi Gachagua is somebody special who has been fighting for this country. He has done so many things. In fact, he has no track record. The thing that he's making, is offering a solution for Kenyans. This is DCP. So you guys don't like William Ruto, right? We have DCP here. Maybe we can give us a chance also. And if they result to the tribal politics they are playing, then we will have the same results that we will have right now. Maybe even Gachagua will be much more worse than Ruto. Who knows? And the advice I could give them to DCP to stop the tribal, because if say because Rigathi Gachagua doesn't qualify to become the presidential candidate, then they risk not having a president nor a DP in the United Opposition, and the same thing that made them not be part of oppose the Ruto's government because they felt that they were not part of the leadership itself. It will also repeat in 2027, where thereby the Kikuyu themselves will feel that we are not part of this government. Now the government is our enemy. So they should be clear in these terms, because it will eat them, and I advise Rigathi Gachagua to stop the tribal politics at hand.
All right, great. And Josphat, we saw some leaders' cars involved in the attack in Old Kalau constituency. What do you make of that? And Murkomen promised to do investigations as far as the cars involved are concerned. Do you think that will be effected? And what is the action to be taken to these leaders who maybe gave out their cars to orchestrate the attack?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Number one, let me state it clear that a leader cannot give out his or her car to go to engage in uncalled activities without him or her being involved. So probably these leaders, they knew what was going to happen, because after all, I didn't recall IBC asking for car donation or car help for them to assist in the logistics in the during the election day, or I didn't hear any of the asking for such help. So why were they giving them their car to be used in the election day? What were the cars supposed to carry on that election day? So this is the kind of the malicious kind of behavior we are calling out from these leaders, because there is no way you can give out the car for it to execute the unfairness, to be used by the ununiformed, I think goons, let's call them goons, because if you are not uniformed, you cannot identify yourself as a police officer. Who are you? You are goon. Even if you are a police officer and you cannot identify yourself, you have no uniform, and then you are there terrorizing people and interrupting people, you are goon, of course, which is an holy goon that is sent by the government, right? So these leaders, I can as well categorize them in the same category, because they are involved in this act. There is no way you can differentiate yourself and say that now that was my car and I was not involved. If your car was there, you knew it, right? And you are involved in those acts of malicious. So I call upon Kenyans to take note, to be very careful. Personally, I have a file. I carry my file, and I take note of these things, so that when we are talking with the fellow young people, we are talking with the fellow citizen, we can really we have documented their record, their track records, what they did. If what you can do is to give car to go and interrupt people, yes, let's document that, so that when it comes to 2027, as you come and tell us your lullabies and your shenanigans, we can also tell you, you remember you also did this, you gave out, you sponsored goons to go and terrorize people, to interrupt people. Yes. So I think even from the CAs and all the security operators saying that we'll follow up on the matter and all that, when of course they knew they had a figure, they had a hand on this, all these things, it is just to blindfold people, for the people to see that no, the government was not involved, but for real it was involved, because we didn't see any car from opposition that was being used by those in quotes, goons, government goons. We didn't see any car that was registered under maybe Kalonzo Musyoka or maybe Fred Matiang'i or maybe Martha Karua and all that. We saw a car that was registered under the name of an MP who is in the government. So probably he was the one being used by the government to sponsor those people and make sure that their logistics department is well catered for, so that they can interrupt the election and suppress the will of the people. So if you can you can engage yourself in the activities of suppressing the will of the people, the people who have really given you the mandate to go and represent them, then it means that you have already alienated from what you are elected to do. You are now pursuing your own business, you are now pursuing your own interest, you are pursuing the interest of the government, you are pursuing the interest of your party, which is party that is terrorizing people, party that is being very unfair to the people, that is not giving people the equal chance, the freedom to exercise their democratic right, then that kind of leaders, they are the people that we refer them as they should retire, because they have no business, their time is done. And see, the people say that a wise dancer knows when to exit the stage. I think if they are wise enough, they know it is their time to exit the stage, and the moment is coming for 2027. So for them to avoid the embarrassing, let them just go early enough, so that people can choose the right people who they think they have the interest of the people in their heart, not the interest of their party, not the interest of the particular person.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now, we've got 4 concerns, and you shall just respond in 1 minute for every concern because of time.
Okay.
And I'm directing this to Sam. Now, we have... We are looking at a piece of political advice given to President William Ruto to pick a running mate from Western region. And we're looking at Oparanya vowing to protect Luhya unity for Ruto. Now, Mount Kenya looks like it has slipped from the ends of UDA. Do you think this aspect, or even do you think this step they are trying to take, do you think they redeem or get the second seat?
Basically not. Wycliffe Oparanya is lying to President Ruto that he is protecting Luhya unity. When the Luhya community united, it has always been divided since then. And I don't think Wycliffe Oparanya has really the capability of mobilizing maybe votes, the Luhya votes to William Ruto himself, because Sifuna is coming in, he wants the top seat, and like you as a person, you are trying to be number 2. How can you convince even the Luhya people themselves that you are for the best interests for the Luhya community if you want to become the number 2 for William Ruto? You're basically in line to the Luhya community itself. So I don't think he will give any addition to the Luhya community itself. Yes.
All right, that's great. And to Josphat, is Gachagua the opposition leader, or is he the Mount Kenya's general?
No, I will say that he is not the opposition leader. He is not the representative of the people of Mount Kenya at all. Because after all, what parameters are we going to use to say that Gachagua is the opposition leader? Which parameters? None whatsoever. And as well as saying that he is the face of the Mount Kenya, he is not, because he does not represent the interest of the Mount Kenya. I think for me, when I listen to Gachagua himself speaking, I take it as his own opinion, not the opinion of the people of the Mount Kenya, because I speak to so many of them. Those who, when you listen to them, they don't share what is focused on. If it's tribalism, issue to do with the, I don't know, petty things. So I believe Gachagua cannot be the opposition leader when you are tribal kingpin. I mean, I don't think so.
All right.
Yes.
Now, to finish from your side, ODM wanted to have the position of the deputy president, and now we're also looking at the Western region, looking forward to bring out presidential running mate to President William Ruto. Now, what is the future of the deputy president, Kitui Kindiki, Professor?
Number one, me as a Josphat, I don't care who they are going to feed in for the deputy president, because after all, they are going home, both of them. So that is that's their own stuff to really work on. Number two, according to what I can see, that the future of the deputy president, the current one, Kitui Kindiki, is not very, it's not in a very good position because of what we are seeing. Because you see, the government is trying to work with the old manuals of tribal politics. Bringing in the Nyanza, bringing in the Western, I will bring in the Mount Kenya, I will bring in Kambani and all that. So when I bring them, you have to give me this, or you demand to be given this type of position. So whatever the government decides to do with their arrangements, that is upon themselves. But possibly, I think Deputy President, future, I respect him. I respect him because he's a very he's a professional. Even when you listen to him speaking, he has a point. He has a point. Only that he is in the wrong regime, right? And I call him to the other side so that I think that's where he belongs, not the other side. Yes.
All right. Do you think he can get the deputy president position come 2027? Yes or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Sam, we are looking at the IBC exercise, or the electoral exercise that was done in Old Kalau. Do you think it was transparent, it was credible? Do you think it was verifiable? Or do you think they were manipulated to do so, maybe to send a certain message come 2027?
I think the elections there was transparent and credible and verified, but it was not. They had no option. If they had the plans to sue the constituents themselves, were there to protect their votes. So they had no option. It's either they toe the line and go with the people's will, or basically they could be even killed because through the mob justice, because you can't go against the people. 35,000 Old Kalau constituents decided that it's their candidate who wants to vote for them, and they had no, even when they tried to bring lorries to come and get into ballot stuff, ballot boxing, masked men coming and terrorize people. The people of Old Kalau constituency still remained firm in their decision, and they were not even scared of the police. We saw certain videos even being brave enough and telling the police even to open the bags and searching their vehicle. These are very acts of bravery, which I could encourage every Kenyan. We can practice it in 2027, and we avoid being be fearful, because fearful doesn't causes more consequences. But in bravery, there is more opportunities. There is change in it. Yes.
All right. I want you to couple your final remark with a message to IBC come 2027.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff. In IBC, specifically to the CEO IBC, yes, you are appointed by Ruto, and I know that maybe President Ruto has given you a task, assigned you to a task, and that task is to maybe to declare him the president in 2027, because he had, according to our constitution, you are the one who will read out the results, and not Ruto lie to you that you can go against the will of the Kenyans, because you can learn from your predecessor itself. He went against the will of the Kenyans himself, and where you see now, he's not even alive. Even the money that he took, he is not even actively benefiting from it. So you have to do the right thing, and the right thing is the will of the people, and not let Ruto even threaten you with death, because even the former CEO died, and it wasn't as a result that he even obeyed the orders from himself, but he still died. So you have been put there by a task, but basically know what you pledged. You saw through the Bible that you protect the will of the Kenyans. So that be it. So don't be swayed in, and people of Kenya themselves will come and protect their voice, and I think you'll have no option rather than declare not other than Ruto as the president of Kenya.
All right, that's great. And Josphat, you're the aspiring Senator, Kitui County. Your final words and a message and promises that you think will fulfill the people of Kitui County as your final message.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jeff, for that. And I want to speak to the people of Kitui County this morning. I tell them that what I believe is that Kitui County really needs accountable leadership. It needs a leadership that cares about the people. It's people. And it needs a leadership that puts into work every shilling that is allocated to it. Recently, we have seen that the current regime in the Kitui County has been misusing the public funds, of which the person who is supposed to be doing the oversight, the senator, left the seat and went to find the votes for the governor. So I'm telling the people of the Kitui County that come 2027, I am really offering myself to the position of the senator. And what I'm promising is that I'm promising the accountable governance, and also I'm promising that the utilization of the public funds, that the public fund will not be misused. What we have seen from the report of the Auditor General for the previous years from the county government of Kitui, of the misuse of the public funds, from expenses that are exceeding the budget. We saw that the county had the expense of 343 million, right? Spending it on expenses that are not budgeted. Spending 179 millions on tea and hospitality, which is very, very unfortunate, and it's unexpected. So I ask them for the opportunity to serve them as their senator, because I will champions for good governance, and I will ensure that every shilling is accounted for to serve the people of Kitui. Yes. All
right, that's great, and thank you, audience, for watching the three segments of Morning Live. We've got the Morning Live updates, we've got the newspaper review, and later we've done the future of Kenyan politics towards 2027. That is the discussion that we had promised you. Now, what's coming up next is Gatuzi Langu, up to maybe 11 or 11:30 there. So thank you for watching. May God bless you. My name is Jeffrey Kimayusomba, or JKS. Good morning.